line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger.
We've come far and wide to see the rest of the best bring it to the track and bring it to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, here at the World Center of Racing, this is the famed 2.5 mile oval, the track that starts it all. This is GOAT Racing League's season opener for Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series here on PTN Racing TV. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the show, and welcome back, GOAT Racing League. It has been a time, but they are back, and they are better than ever, with 23 of the best going to bring it down to the show today. Let's start them up with our starting positions. And on the pole, in the number 19, that will be piloted by Tyler Dalton, the outside. In the number 15, it is Joe Hudson. Row number 2 is the 93 of Bud Shearer, the outside. And the number 10, it's Ryan D. Cook. Row number 3 is the 11 of Ron Holyfield, the outside. And the 95, it is Sean Burke. Row number 4 is the 43 of Samuel Harrell, the outside. And the 42, Dakota Kramer. Row number 5 is the 44, Christoph Hall, the outside. And the 98, it is Russell Ottaway. And row number 6, it's the 77, all the way from down under, Australia's own Michael Caffrey. Row number, outside of him, and the number 22 will be Alan Wild. Then row number 7 is Maurice Burnett, and the 80 outside, and the 49 is Robert Dudleyville Dudley. Defending champion Charles Van Schaik will pilot the 23 in row number 8, the outside, and the 38 is John Macmillan Sr. In row number 9, it is the 12 of Aaron Action Jackson, but it is outside of the 53, it is Bill Hales. Row number 10 is the 18 of Philip Schmitz, the outside of the number 6, it's Cameron DeRue. Row number 11 is the number 3 of Keith Prince, the outside of the 96, Jerry Livingston. And finally, piloting row number 84, it is Mark Odell. Race fans, the time has come. It is here. It is now. Send it your way down, trackside. It's time for the parade lap to start the season off. And so, with the roar of the next gens to life, we bring them down statewide. It's green flag here, season opener for the Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series. Whoa, a little bit off to a horrible start there on the top side out of the gate. The number 10, Ryan D. Cook, not able to get her up the line. He'll send him on in a whole field of drivers back. They're 3 deep already trying to escape the madness. The power roaring out of these beasts. They coming off the line, roaring her momentum up. Power engaged. Right now, Tyler Dalton, and the 7500 Super Series driver is coming to the early lead. Really no surprise in my opinion so far here. We've seen before what they can bring to the table in that Super Speedway Series racing. Down on the live stream right now, moving him back into position. Bud Shearer, a driver last season who felt like he should have had a better chance to win it out. Bringing out the Legacy design charge here, bringing out some speed to the track. Actually, the Legacy car is Sammy Correll in the 43. I should apologize immediately there. And the 93 is Bud Shearer. Bringing back the RBS scheme there, and that 93 silvered up, steel schemed up. Oh, it's got a little afterburner to it a little bit. Although I'm going to say, honestly, it looks more like somebody did a little bit of a graffiti design on it and then put on the steel. So it kind of looks like a train, if you will, with that graffiti on it. Then again, that's just me. Michael Bollinger saying, welcome to Daytona for the first race of the Global iRacing season, sponsored by Global Team Strategy. Thanks for coming on board here, Michael. Ernest King saying, good evening, everyone. I run the truck series. I'm the 25, checking this out. I'm not saying that last part there, Ernest, but thank you so much for coming on board here, sir. And we'll see you Tuesday night as well in the truck series as well. Can't wait to see you out there, my friend. Down through the first set of corners, down to the back straightaway here, everybody. So far, so good. No surprise here. The Go Racers are usually a little bit more clear on how they race and a little bit more consistent on how they run on each other. You don't usually see them get too out of control, too wild. They're usually pretty tame, pretty focused. That's what you're going to see a lot of. But also, there are stage races here. The stage 1 will be at lap 25, stage 2 at lap 60. Then from there, 60 laps of the distance. You best race your way in if you want to take home the victory. That is how we will score them in throughout this action today. Well, we're back on board with old Dudleyville Dudley. And there's Dudleyville right now currently on the 9th spot here. He's 5 spots from his original position. Qualified 14th out of the duels and in from the main race itself. Right now trying to make or break some areas and trying to show off what he can do on the track. We're looking at no quick repairs tonight. You get 2 green-white checkers and a restart zone enabled. Now, what does a restart zone exactly mean? Well, we're going to go on to the blimp cam here. I'm going to show you guys as we go around to it. Here it is right there. You see that little Geico starting line there, that little blue? That is where these drivers have to hit before they can even start thinking about going off the line. It's not when that base car comes off. It's not when somebody thinks it's the right time to go. No, 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 no. The leaders choose on that Geico restart zone when to go. That is their call, their choice. If they misjudge it and they do not follow the orders, then iRacing themselves give them a little bit of a penalty for trying out that little stuff. But also, it actually is a bit of a speed zone, so you have to have a certain speed and a certain limit when getting over there. Just a little fun fact for you there. They have 3 additional tire sets, so 4 in total. They have 60% fuel as well today, so that will make things a little bit more interesting. Really push some levels on the drivers and really make sure that they understand their limits and their rules and shots here to take. But without those instant repairs, man, I'm telling you right now, these guys are going to have to be very, very careful with where they make. Choose your line well and hope for the best. Man, you know, I turned the volume down on these cars too, and apparently I didn't do enough of it because these things are still pouring to life around here. Yes, we do, Ernest King. To answer your question, we are streaming the truck series. We do that on Tuesday nights. We will see these guys as well back on the track, and I believe it sounds like we'll be seeing you down there too. So we did the Tuesday night and the Saturday night portions. It's always a pleasure to have a little bit of time with the Goat Racers as well. They always put on a great show and a good little time out there. Last season, the Truck Series, pretty much all but dominated there by Aaron Smith, the gold standard as we nicknamed him through it all. But right now, Smith is currently trying to work his way into the Road to Pro Series. Hopefully, we have him come on board sometime. Wish our best of luck down there for him. Michael will be heading down to Daytona International Speedway on Tuesday night. Well, the driver from Down Under right now currently is 2 spots up at his position here. He's in the 11th spot right now, going to the 9th. Or excuse me, he started in 11th, now in the 9th spot here. Currently dealing with the 95, Sean Burke, right in front of him. Burke trying to keep his momentum and trying to keep himself in control, but at the same time trying not to discredit or dislodge any kind of momentum he might have here. Burke was another one of those guys on the RBS crew last season that really tried to hold down and really maintain the distance, trying to maintain his runs when he could with his team, but sadly was not able to bring home the championship either. And really what it all boiled down to was long run, tire strategy, and fuel strategy. And whoever was able to mix and manage that the best was going to be your champion. Charles was able to figure it out quickly and figure it out well enough, and he hung on to take down Butch Harris. Dakota Kramer on the number 42. Good to see him back as he brings out the OnlyFans number 42 machine with a little Monster Energy logo on there. I'm almost for certain he threw that on in memory of Ken Blocker in tribute to him. Knowing Kramer, I know he loves Monster Energy, but I don't think he had a lot of love there for old Ken Block. And again, we still really miss you, Mr. Block. One of the pioneers of rallycross racing, one of the pioneers of racing in general. Our much love and respects go to him at this time still. You know, it's kind of crazy too. We talk about all the guys up front. We forgot all about the guys in the back too. Right up in the very, very back of the field, Joe Hudson is currently leading in a kind of a rebel unit of guys, maybe looking for a different kind of strategy, different kind of fuel run. Joe Hudson, Philip Schmitz, Bill Hales, Keith Britz, and John Macmillan Sr. They are way, way back in the field, not Macmillan, excuse me. They are currently hanging around down there on the back half, kind of staying out of trouble for the most part. We'll have to see how that strategy plays out long-term wise, but very interesting to see. Curtis King giving us a little idea on Tuesday night, says look out for RKR Motorsports 4 Awesome Drivers, myself, Nick, Zach, and AJ. We'll have to keep an eye out for you guys when the time comes there, sir. And yes, I do read the comment section a lot, so if you guys comment away, I will be answering questions. I'll be answering your posts as well, so have at it. Feel free to comment down below while I still call the race here. Curtis, don't worry, man. Eventually we'll get that figured out, but we really do appreciate at least trying to send stars. Ron Holyfield, the NC811.org machine right now, currently working the very bottom end of the track here, trying to make a run here to make a run with the number 19 Tyler Dalton to go on board here on Holyfield. He's another one of those guys that you gotta really watch out for on these tracks, man. He can play the snooker roll and kind of hang out his boots and hang on the track and make a run for the best of them, or sometimes he'll just make sure you have no idea where the heck you're going until he catches you completely off guard. In my opinion, I kind of gotta call him like kind of the Dale Waltrip of this league, because he's kind of a sneaky one on these plate tracks. He'll hide behind you and he'll either try to figure out a way to throw a bonsai move at you, or he'll just do what he's doing right now and make sure he gets you up to the front. He's not having with Dalton bump drafting ahead on that 7500 machine. Bulger saying that they are being smart to have better braking distance to avoid being involved in the big one. And even Ernest saying it's early still. You're not wrong there, Michael, but the biggest difference here is that we got to look at the overall strategy and the overall pace. Look at that pack you just saw there, and then look at these guys. Right now, they know a stage break is coming up. They have lap 25 as that stage break and having time to react, time to kind of figure it out. they really only have to worry about one thing, and that's just making sure they keep enough speed, enough power to stay away from getting too close to the madness and getting too close to the craziness that can involve a wreck or involve drivers getting out of control, or really in their minds as well, just losing time and control. But again, you still have to have some kind of speed, because again, if you let too far go, well, let's just say you better hope you can figure out a way to grab that anchor and hoist off to the seas, because that's pretty much where you're ending up at. Because you need all the speed and all the power to get through that ocean of lap traffic you'll be throwing yourself into. This thing, hit that like button, folks. Oh, thank you so much, Ernest. Really do appreciate that. It's gonna save me trouble having to say that too. Speaking of saving troubles, back down there. Look out in the back. Oh, hold on. Oh my! Caffrey into the wall, gets clammed up there, and unfortunately trouble in the inside of track stretch of turn 2. Caffrey got taken there by Mark Odell in the Carvana number 84. I'm not sure. Maybe that was just a misdriving situation or what went wrong there. We'll have to go visit the PTMS to replay, but that was a very dark little hit there. All drivers trying to escape and avoid trouble. It wasn't quite where they wanted to be. Looked like Odell kind of got trapped there, and then you see as well, it looked like Caffrey got kind of swung in there as well. Really hard to really tell from that camera angle. I'm going to try it again here and see if we can get another look at it. It looks like it might have been something else here. Yeah, you can see right there, they got piled in, they kind of got packed off a bit, and then bam, right into the wall protection and nowhere to go. Major trouble there for the drivers. No caution though, we are still green. Back to our blimp cam. Back to the blimp cam we are, and back to the top green. So right now we lost a few drivers, and that one, Michael Caffrey, is going to be put a lap down. Unfortunately, going to try to get some damage cleaned up on the car, try to get some speed back. He's going to need those stage brakes so to help him out. He's lost a lot of time. He's going to lose a lot more than that. Trouble indeed there, Michael. Unfortunately, they're just going to have to stay a little bit more focused, though, and a little bit worse for wear. Charles Van Schaik, Aaron Action Jackson, they are now heading to the pits. Looks like fuel runs are now becoming into effect here. Van Schaik still bringing us to SpongeBob SquarePants 23. I mean, I'll give him credit where credit's due. At least that rash car looks pretty good, but I don't know. I haven't watched SpongeBob in forever and a day. Leading him down around off of turn number 3, down into turn number 4 here. Coming up top, look out here as they are in the wall a little bit there. The 44, excuse me, Christoph Hall slams the target machine into that wall 4. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was really thinking he was an actual target or not, but man, he took a nice little hit there coming off that corner. Stage number 1 is wielding no prisoners and not letting off on anybody here today. They are absolutely tearing it up out here, just trying to hold on. Three wide off the back half here in the butt shear. There on the bottom lane. Paul up in the middle, and he's getting into Dalton's grill a little bit, just kind of bolstering the momentum up here on him. If I'm taller Dalton right now, I gotta be a little bit annoyed. I'm getting for a ride now. I really gotta be annoyed. Look out! Heading for the route. Oh man, Cameron Deere slams it right into the inside wall. DeCastro Edge number 6 is in the grass, spinning. Still no caution though. They have not thrown the caution. Well, I was wondering if the aggression level may be a bit too much for him, and I think they've learned their lesson, but I don't think that's going to help anybody. We're going to have to go to the P10 instant replay and take a look at this again here. Christoph Hall just completely getting ramped in there off turn number 4. I'm not sure who started what or where it begins. Let's take it to the chopper. Look right here, you can see right there, Christoph gets a little bit high, then he centers off, goes low, and oh man, poor Cameron DeRue, man, just completely dished out. That was your PTM TV instant replay. Brought to you by the great people over at Global Team Strategy. 5 laps remain here as we come to the line here. Samuel Harrell currently a race leader. No yellow yet. There's King saying there better be yellow. No, there's not. I mean, I'm showing you guys what I'm seeing right now. That yellow would have popped up. Give you an idea, it would have looked like this. If it was a yellow, but it's not. Alright, Bruce, just get that off. Thank you. There's no yellow yet. Harrell, though, was trying not to get a yellow cone while he's at it until the 43 managed to evade the inside pit stop there. Ron Holyfield, the 11, has got the race lead. Remember what I said about him earlier? Well, yep, he's making me a pretty good look on that one. Meanwhile, behind him, he's got a hungry pack of drivers trying to mix and match their way back up into it. They have not been to pit road yet, whereas everybody else has. They could be trying a very interesting pit strategy here and trying to use a center point. But in this pack here right now, you got the 98 of Russell Ottaway, the 96 of Jerry Livingston, Mark Odell, in that 84 and the 49 of Robert Dudley, Bill Dudley, as the caution has finally dropped out. And I believe that will end stage number 1. I believe we'll be going to stage number 2 here in just a few short minutes. But your stage winner, ladies and gentlemen, will be the number 11 of Ron Holyfield. Ernest King saying, love the engine sound. Well, believe us, we do too. I've said my piece about these cars before, but I mean, I'll kind of just say it on the broadcast again. Like, I do love the sound, I love the look, and I love the feeling they can give to the broadcast and the television crew, but as a driver, I personally am just not a fan of driving these cars. I give my reasons. Again, you guys can come at me for it if you want, but my whole reasoning I don't like driving them is just because mainly they feel just way too, I don't know, they just feel too stiff in the turning, and they feel just way too off-centered. Like, they're very snap-lock steering heavy, and I've just never been a fan of that style there. Ernest King says you don't like them. Well, at least I got somebody that's kind of with me on that mindset. I love watching them. I don't like racing them. That's the best thing I can say. Give me street stocks, late models, and super late models any day of the race. Heck, I'll even throw myself into a modified race. I'm at it. Jerry Livingston, the 96, going to pit road. Sean Burke's in there, teammate. Russell Ottaway as well. Ron Holyfield will be in pit road. Alan Wild. 22 now goes in. Robert Dudleyville. Dudley stays on out, so it looks like he'll try to use his strategy to his advantage here. Very interesting core group of drivers in the core field right now, trying to set themselves up in the pace and in the controls. Bill Ailes in the 53, he's going to stay on through as well. He's 15 spots up, has not been to pit road yet, so looks like he's going to try to strategize the fuel run over everything else here. Like I said, I can handle him. Last night I pulled a 54.96 Talladega. Not bad. I mean, I can handle them on a... honest to God, I don't care if I run them on a super speedway. They're not horrible there. But that's a super speedway racing. And again, I know I've said before that super speedway is legitimate as racing on a mile and a half to a mile to 2 mile to half miles and shorter tracks. But to me, I still will say if you're going to run these cars, at least if you're just starting out, a super speedway is probably your best bet to start with. They are okay there. You don't have to really worry too much about having to steer in too much. The snap lock steering actually kind of works in its favor, but anything else, like I said, in my opinion, it's just, yeah. I don't know, some people get actually mad at me, though, when I say just about that. Like, even though I put it as my opinion, some people just get really mad on it. Back on the green flag lineup, here we go. We're back underway. Race fans, also, if you are new to the show here, we do ask if you could like and follow us up here on Facebook, head over our YouTube, subscribe there. We do have live content we do occasionally bring out to the track or bring out to the show. Live content on Tuesday night here with the Pushing Limit Racing League, as they will bring you the Honda Civic Type R's out of all places, Southern National Motorsports Park, so get ready for that one. But nevertheless, with all your support, thank you so much for everything, and we guys hope you enjoy the rest of the show as we get back to it here. Aaron Action Jackson trapped in the middle, 3 wide off, down, off, that's our number 4 here, the 84 Carvana of Mark Odell. Oh, a little bit of trouble again. That will be a caution. Mark Odell in the 84 once again finds himself in another bad spot. And this time he wasn't able to get out of it as well as he had hoped for. Here's our look at it. He came right off down the corner. Look at this. Catches Aaron Jackson. Thinks he's got a little bit of a run here on the inside. Came down though. And you can see he drives just slightly up. Gets into Jackson. I'm not sure if he knew where he was going or where he was at. Takes Jackson. Good save though. Going the front straightaway. But unfortunately, the car definitely was not agreeing with the rest of it. And that ended up causing the wreck to happen. Cameron DeRue, by the way, out of the race. He is done for the night. And Mark Odell has just left the building as well. He is going to be out of the race. Damage too severe on the number 84. What a tough break there for the 84. Michael Caffrey still in it. Trying to get back on the track despite all the damage he's suffering through right now. John McMillan Sr. as well, struggling to get out on the track again. Philip Schmitz in the 18. Also currently trying to run his laps back, trying to get his time back. We'll have a chance to get a lucky dog here eventually here, but that's not going to help them out too much. They're still going to have to get a little bit of work here in throughout the race. Brent Logue saying, good evening, sir. Hey, Brent, great to have you back on board, sir. It's great to hear from you. Ernest, it's alright, man. Believe me, I've been through way too many of these. I don't think it could get any worse from here. Coming through pit road right now, the field trying to get squared back up in their position and their chances here. Like I was saying, I see some good wrecks at Kansas Day in 2022. I mean, I think we probably will see a few more of them in 2023 while we're at it. Not trying to foreshadow or anything, but I just got a feeling. I will say, though, I do really miss the racing season, man. I'm glad NASCAR's coming back soon enough, and I'm glad that our local short tracks are finally getting their tracks back opened up for the season here in just a few short months or weeks, depending on where your location's at. I know some in Alabama already been racing on them dirt surfaces. Which, by the way, I'm wondering how long it takes before we get that track added on to iRacing. I'd love to see the bad boy over there in Talladega, but I would not mind seeing our local track here at Marshalltown Speedway or Boone Speedway added on to iRacing. I know we got Knoxville, but I don't know. As an Iowa boy, I really want to see them tracks added on. So. And if you guys are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, just look up Marshalltown Speedway on Flow Racing sometime and watch some of their races when they go down. They are some of the best moments and actions I've ever watched personally as a fan, so. And I swear I'm not trying to be biased. I'm being dead serious. Well, anyway, let's get them fielded back down on the track here, back into the field. We are currently down 29 laps. We'll be on lap number 30. We'll come another restart. The RBS boys, Bud Shearer and Sean Burke, are going to be your race leaders here out of the gate. Bud Shearer will be the one that commands them. Sean Burke going to try to set them off into the distance. Tyler Dalton looking for another win here on the Super Speedway end. Remember, the Sim 500 Super Speedway drivers have kind of collided and worked with the GOAT Racing League now on the Saturday night editions and Tuesday night ends as well. So they will be kind of hanging around each other and working with each other throughout their times. But of course, Sim 500 Super Speedway Series pretty much kind of no longer really in that regard. I believe they have now kind of transitioned into the Tuesday night end, from what I understand. So, just a little thing to kind of note. Green flag back on out. Stage number 2 begins yet again. Well, Shearer got left wide open, and he tried to drive it up to Tyler Dalton, try to get some speed off him. He will get a little bit of a hand as Tyler Dalton goes deep into the inside, the number 19, looking for the race lead. Timing and strategy right now are going to be extremely crucial here, and they need to stay focused on only one objective, and that is watch every corner with all you got. The 550 horsepower package downforce on the rear spoiler end of these cars. Extremely difficult to master as much as it is to run with. There is a bit of a troublesome slate with them, which is where you really have to understand. And that is the bubble that forms on these cars and that kind of pushes these cars off. Really have nowhere to go in terms of speed and scope. You gotta kind of stay focused in and focused around on when you make your move and when you make a shot, and occasionally got to use that back to really pump and draft up as hard as you can, forcing drivers to make their biggest moves and their best moves when at all possible. Pressure building on though as the rest of the field keeps going. Launching their way down around off the turn number 1 to down to turn number 2 here. Field starting to grasp and get a grip of where they're wanting to go, where they want to play at here. I think a lot of them here really are struggling to keep drafting up and trying to keep the momentum going as much as they can. They know there's a lot of pressure to make those moves early and make those moves quickly. It looks like Alan Wild feeling that. He's got Charles Van Schaik, last season champion, coming up with him. The defending champion right now looking to try to work with him and build some momentum with it. Kramer on the outside now, drop back in. Van Schaik goes up. Interesting to see once more these drivers making their choices almost seemingly at random, but at the same time it's really not. They're just kind of picking their shots and picking their poison when they need to. Legacy MC number 43 is Samuel Harrell right now, moving the chains and blocking them up. Legacy Motor Club, to be exact, is the name of the brand. I asked about my thoughts on that as well, and my personal thought is, honestly, it's not a bad name by any means. It's kind of, in my opinion, it kind of represents the understanding of the past as well as understanding its future. To know what your to understand your future, you always got to look at your past. So, in my opinion, it's not a horrible name. And we could still, anytime you look, and everyone always kind of came back at me, well, it doesn't have Petty in there or Johnson there. Well, if you ask me, you still will see their names whenever you Google them or whenever you look them up, and that's what most people do these days anyway. So, in my opinion, not a big deal. So, I think the team name's all right, and I like the car. And I always say I like the look of the car. They got that black and gold. I always thought black and gold looked pretty good, even when it came to my college team. I rooted for the Hawkeyes. Well, anyway, moving up for the front here, the pack currently right now, Ron Holyfield in the 11, staying down low on the bottom lane here, trying to get some run on Butch here in the 93 here. The field is starting to dispatch. Everybody wants a piece of that race lane. Everybody wants to try to make their move up to the front, but again, so difficult to control and so difficult to master. Dollar Dawn right now currently hanging on the rear end corner of the 11, but he's got to be careful here. Push too much and push too hard, and you're going to cost yourself more. And you realize here, I think he's starting to figure that out, so he's backing off just a slight bit for the moment. The pack's starting to separate out yet again here. Brian D. Cook in the number 10 and the 44 Christoph Hall with the 8 of Maurice Burnett right behind the field. Charles Van Schaik working well with them too. Aaron X. Jackson literally left behind in the draft, left behind the field. He's going to just try to hold on and hope for the best here. Philip Schmitz, Robert Dudley as well. They are currently stretched out further as they go. Schmitz further maybe than he was hoping for. And Dudley, well, the sad part is for him, he's already a couple laps down. He's going to be put even more laps down. Michael Caffrey feeling that and feeling more so than I think he really wants to in this case. Ernest pointing out it right there, a long way to go. Indeed, it is a long way to go still. There's not a lot of breathing room though for mistakes, and they are well aware of that. Lap 60, remember, is going to be the stage break. That will be when we file everyone back in and get them squared back up onto the track right now. Dudley on the outside. He's lap traffic right now. He's going to have to accept his fate and let the field in. Moving their way down on the back half of turn 3. It is Dalton. It is Shearer. Right now trying to deal with the 11 of Holyfield. At Holyfield in this race, I mean, the best way I can describe him right now is he's kind of like the Brad Keselowski of this field here at the moment. He's not really, well, okay, let me rephrase that. He's like the Brad Keselowski minus 2022 right now. Currently, he's trying to push his way in certain places and push his way up to the front as quick as he can while trying to hang on to the rest and defend off when he needs to. But he's not being extremely egregious to where it's literally taking guys out or really pushing everyone out of his way. He's being very smart and calculated here, and I think that's working well for him. A little bit of a hiccup there between Sean Burke and Bashir. Sean Burke looked like he was trying to go up into the top side, maybe make a run for it here. Single file, then turn double, now triple up. Jackson trying to get out of the way there. He will put a lap down, nothing he can do about that. Got thrown for a loop there, probably didn't even know where he was going to go or what was going to happen next. All he did know was he was going to be thrown to the walls and thrown into the pack. They're running up on their stage break here. Still got about 19 laps remaining though. On board here with the number 95, Sean Burke. As we get a few good shots here on just how hard these drivers have got to keep this throttle rhythm up and keep the power on the track. Fielded down around here and sailed it off in the positions right at the moment, going down the field. But here right now currently dealing with Robert Dudley in front of him here. Dudley, I know he's a couple laps down, but I don't know if I necessarily would be trying to put myself in that shoe and put myself in that position. Bit of a kind of a wild card in there for the track layout where he's in, the momentum. Christoph Hall in the 484 right up on the outside now. He's going to get put a lap down as well. So field is starting to separate out further as it goes. Right up in the middle plane though right now, that is going to be Jerry Livingston, or excuse me, that is the 98 of Russell Ottaway. He's also going to get thrown a couple laps down. I'm not sure, maybe just didn't have quite as much momentum as he wanted to, but he's certainly in trouble down. Again, just crazy to think how far off things are getting and how crazy it is becoming to be pushing and shoving as much as it is here. Michael, never ready for the 500, but I mean the Clash to me is going to be the most important one in my opinion. For the first part anyway, I should add, like, to get the season started. Lingering their way down around off rear currently. Sure, still the leader. And now pit stops up plenty and pit stops up many. Tyler Dahl going to go in there with the field and behind. Ron Holyfield in the 11 as well as the number 50 and Joe Hudson going to stabilize it through with him. Jerry Livingston and the number 3 of Keith Prince also going into their spots. Prince probably thinking he was in the same spot the 96 was in, but that's not quite where you're supposed to be at, sir. Gets it in there. We'll see how they race him out of pit road. Just fuel for the 3 and the 53. Livingston looks like he takes a little bit more fuel off. Joe Hudson, the 15, going to go rocking it out with Holyfield right behind as well. So I'm taking a little bit more fuel than others. I think I may boil down to a bit of a strategy call here. Not too sure. They're saying, yeah, now we are getting settled in. We are getting settled in, but we're also currently getting separated out by quite a bit, and these pit stops are now going to really make or break some of these drivers' as key moments here. They know they can't get too out of control or get too wound up here. They got to stay focused on what they're doing and focus on what they're at. A little bit of trouble down there, looks like, for Michael Caffrey. Something not going right in the 77 Pennzoil machine. Looks like he is going to park it off. Yeah, his car is done. His car is broke. Let's take a look at the replay and see if we can figure out what happened. Looks like, yeah, it looks like he might have a mechanical failure here. It looks like he had a battery go out, or it looks like his engine was just starting to take a bit of a cough there and couldn't quite deal with the pressure. So it looks like Caffrey is completely done for this one. What a tough break there for the Australian. We should see him back out next week, though. Hopefully, it'll be good to see. Hopefully, he'll be able to bring some luck and hopefully some more work to his name to this season. He's had some awesome performances and some great finishes here on the show before. It'll be interesting to see how well he does in favors when they bring it back out on the track. So it looks like Alan Wild now going to be our race leader here, but you're going to go into pit road with his teammate on board. Wild using currently the little drafting partner there right in front of him. Looks like John McMillan there, a senior in the 38, currently working with him. Wow, currently gonna go into pit road right now and settle himself out down around the track here. So right now Tyler Dalton here, Keith Prince, Bill Hales, they are all leading in. Again, this is kind of the first crux of it. Watching on down around the track here, the field is currently just trying to stabilize and stretch themselves out, but they are kind of stretching themselves thin as they go. It's a long road ahead and a long spot on their playing field here. Lingering through a field, starting to separate further and further. Everything right now pinpointing on how well you maintain the distance and maintain control of the car. 53 of Bill Hales right now currently hanging on and trying to work his way through as well. Prince and Dalton still right in that march here. Everybody just trying to see. Fielding back around right out of the turn. Need everybody Speedway still right in their lines and in their sights. There's Skiing saying, love the ink car. Well, I got quite a few of those, honestly, on these cars. Got that one, and of course we got the old gyro. We got our little cam back kind of threw on the back to the back here. Just gives you guys a little bit of an inside look, a bit of a different feeling you can get with these cars inside the run here. And of course, whatever that we actually hear from these drivers, usually we can actually hear from our actual roll bar cam we got thrown on the front of the hood and the dash. They said not to put it too close to the steering wheel for now because they don't like to wake up. Final laps approaching here before stage break commences. We're going to have only 2 laps remaining in stage number 2. Coming to the line, coming to the wire here. Folks running high, drivers running well. But again, pressure will accumulate when we get them all squared back up in position and all put back in place. Two laps to go. Prince, by the way, right now looks like the number 3 having a little bit of an eye on that 19 here, looking maybe they'll make a run for it. It's hard to really tell where they're going to try to play the strategy out, or where they're going to try to make their move from, I would presume. More than anything, they're really going to try to bolster the grill and really try to keep some speed up, but here you can see Rap Traffic yet again getting in the way here at Jackson. And Christoph Hall staying on the bottom lane. Keith Prince right now. Look at the inside. Here he comes down the bottom lane. And Dalton left all alone. Prince now the lead. Big jump to the front for the number 3 with 1 lap to go in stage number 2. This guy's eye set on that final lap. But Bill Hale's also probably looking keenly at that too. Trying to keep the pressure on here. They'll reel him down. Tyler Dalton, one more big punch coming up from the top side. He's got a huge run settled in. Gonna get a little draft partner there from the 44. Gotta be careful though. Remember last time, Christoph backs off, gets it out of the way, and looks like it's gonna stay out of trouble for the most part. But off of turn number 3, down into turn number 4, Keith Prince is going to take home stage number 2. Gosh, the flag will draw on out. Keith Prince is your stage winner. 2 different stage winners so far, Ron Holyfield and then Keith Prince here. And a very, very tight-ended schedule. Halfway done with this race so far, Keith Prince here. Now taking control after all the madness we saw in stage 1. Looks like he's going to try to bolster it down, try to hang in there with this one. He's got plenty of room, but a lot of time still to use. Pit stops a many, pit stops a plenty right now. See who gets out of pit road first. Looks like Tyler Dalton with that fast qualifying time is going to use it well. He gets out of pit road very first out of the bunch. He's going to be your number one seed out. Joe Hudson will follow with him. Keith Prince into the third spot now. And Butcher Bill Hales, top 5. Prince, by the way, he went from 21st to first in stage number 2. And right now, currently starting in third spot, he'll be 18 positions up from where he was at. Field right now going to stretch their way back in towards top spots here. Pit roads have cleared and cars are now ready, set to fire them off again. Final stage now looming. Well, race fans, here we go. Time to bring it home here at Daytona. This is your season opener, final stage. Here we go. Don't leave anything out now. Just go for broke. And because now they're stacked back up too, that forces everybody to really have to watch their toe, watch their tempo. And really hope for the best. Firing down right now. Keith Prince is going to be a race leader yet again here, but for how long will that last remains to be questioned. We got 16 drivers right now on the lead lap. Christoph Hall in the 44 holding up the rear. Dudleyville right now trying to get one more lap back, so he's going to really be keeping a close distance with that pack there. Don't want to lose too much ground, too much time here. You cannot have that happen at this point. Best thing you can do right now is just stay close, stay encountered, and stay on the narcs. Leading it back down around the track here. Charles Van Schaik here currently up in the backstretch. Now down to the top. Butch here in the 93 here trying to work his way in with the field too. What a start it would be to be able to take home the championship last season, then work your way into the top spot yet again. And get yourself ready for what is to come later on in this series. Of course, playoff brackets will come much later on, but again, really we're focusing highly on the pressure and the buildup they are forced into just to try to make ends meet. Ryan D. Cook right now, the number 10 Ford Mustang machine. We're going to go on board with him for a little bit. Just going to give you a little inside look at just how much power you can get from these cars when it's done right, but how troublesome it is to get it to work just right. Saw that big pass there going around with the number 15 of Joe Hudson here. Joe's currently trying to get his strap back off the car and off the wrap back there, but that did not quite bode well for him and his team as he had to cost himself a position or two from it. Right now, Sean Burke in the 95 currently holding it for RBS here. Keith Prince looking to try to bring one home for the first time this season. And Keith Prince, again, he's been extremely clever on these plate tracks. He's extremely tough to tame and tough to take down on these kind of levels and kind of playing fields. But again, it really kind of put the pressure into your mind. He's yet to really been able to master the other tracks and really take good note or good way around on those levels and on those areas. So really, this is kind of a tough little deal for him. He knows he's got to try to make or break his time out here, but he knows he's also got to focus highly on stabilizing the car down and making sure everything works well in his favor. Right now, currently leading him into the 100 lap marker here. Again, then with 20 laps left to go. We got 50 laps remaining here on the show. And so far, really the best way I can describe it here, guys, it's just been a very stable foot and even stable grounds. When the drivers that were trapped in the madness earlier kind of fell out of line and fell out of sight here. And now they haven't really been able to get back up there to the field. But right now, anyway, currently, everybody's still trying to stay out of trouble, still trying to focus in on really one end of the playing field, one end of the ground. Really making a lot of guys kind of question themselves when and where they're going to take that move and make that run at the right time. Here looks like the guys are going to start the train up a little bit, so how about we start cranking it up a little bit too with them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to finally crank it up with your drivers here in the Go Racing League. You're on there on the Beach Race TV showcase. You gotta crank it up once in a while here and let these guys just do the talking with their engines and their motors. And you saw a lot of big movement, a lot of hard racing just to get through the back and kind of initiate through it around the track here. So far, still everybody remains clean through stage 3, the final stage. Global Team Strategy Next Gen International Speedway, of course, brought to you by Global Team Strategy here, and they have sponsored up yet again another season. So a big thank you to the Global Team Strategy crew for their support and being able to come on out and help us out yet again here to get these showcases and get these broadcasts up. Getting earlier on saying, you know, it's showtime. It looks like the drivers are currently taking that to heart because it looks like now they are starting to put the burners up on these cars and really starting to use the power and the raw stability they have inside of them. We're on board here right now with Maurice Burnett here. You can see the wheel currently staying as straight as it can, trying to keep himself and locked onto the track as much as possible here. Focus and determination really becoming extremely high in a magnitude of speed and power. Nowhere to go and everywhere to escape from. Charging them along lines, charging them around the track though, out in the gate through Samuel Rail in the 43 right now, making a great little comeback up to the trail end of the market, up to the fight here right now. John McMillan Sr. here is trying to stay on the lead lap. He's currently right in front of the entire field on the top lane though. Probably in their mind being more of a nuisance here to try to deal with and to have to figure out a way to get around. But again, you know, we talk about it constantly. You just can't let things get to you. You have to somehow, some way, still stay focused. And now they'll lean him off to the top side here. They're going to try to make their moves around him, and it looks like Bud Shearer will be the first to do so. So a good pass there up around the track there for the 90. Try for the jump scare as well. Alan Wild, the number 22, currently right now 5 spots up in the number 4 Mustang Machine. He currently has been staying relatively out of trouble and out of danger, but to be honest, I was kind of expecting a little bit more out of him, in this case a little bit more oomph from the car, but it seems like he's been, relatively speaking, just a little bit more conservative. More than likely, if I had to guess, probably just trying to avoid trouble and trying to stay out of any messes that he finds himself in. John Burke, Bud Shearer now. The RBS crew working together again here. Looks like they're going to try to keep speed up, keep the pressure on. Best lap times, by the way, on the board there. As you saw, the lap of 46.01, currently the fastest so far out of the bunch. That was set by Maurice Burnett in the number 8. And Maurice, man, again, returning on the track in the 8 with the 3G on the side there. Make himself look pretty strong right now to the advertiser and to the sponsors here, of course, making a good work and a good feeling. It's what he needs to do, what he needs to bring to the table as a driver. Time starting to decrease, and it looks like Field's starting to increase their objective here. You can see too, just once these drivers get a little bit more comfortable, they get a little bit more focused in, they start to look at the overall situation, the overall predicament, they really start to hone the craft back down, really get squared up, more along for the ride here, hoping for their openings and hoping for their chances here to really stabilize down. And as I said, they were starting to single them up. Looks like they're wanting to double them up again. Looks like they're not wasting any time. Trying to put the pressure on, put the top 5 on your screen right now here. Because that's pretty much where this is going to shift away a lot at the most here on the front. Ron Holyfield here looking to get a little bit of speed, a little bit more power. Using Tyler Dalton as a bit of a shield, a bit of a run there. So many angles and opportunities really to make their move, make their run around when they can, but they're still having to pick up at it. Ernest King saying business is picking up. I'm not sure who Goodweiser is, but I'm pretty sure he was kind of referring to, like, as Budweiser. And speaking of coming down, here comes the Bud Shearer. Slamming that brakes in. You gotta watch out for teammate though there, Burke. Oh my. Stays out of trouble there, doesn't get himself into trouble at all, but nevertheless, Field now entering in pit stop strategy territory. Ron Holyfield currently leading the field out with Tyler Dalton right behind him. The 15 of Joe Hudson also trying to make it back into a spot he started at earlier, which was the second place position. He's been kind of laying low and kind of laying through, looking for openings and opportunities to hit here. George Rickon has joined us. He's great to have you on board today, and is asking what series are we watching. Well, this is the Next Gen Cup Series, or the Gen 7s, if you will. This is the up-to-date right now, what the actual NASCAR seasons are running right now on the track. Pit stops out and out. Field rocking their way off. Alan Wild here going to try to hang on here as the field comes running right up towards him. Charles Van Schaik, Bud Shearer, and John Burke. Coming up quick, coming up fast. Alan Wild still in pit road. Looks like he's going to try and play a different kind of strategy card at him. The field right now looking to make or break their way through. Draft partners being used up. Field trying to get closer in, but it's Burke, Shearer, and Van Schaik who have the advantage. Oh, or maybe not. Charles Van Schaik, big little missed opportunity there, but Shearer has some problems. Shearer's got some major problems there. He ended up losing the grip and the control there for Burke. Ernest King saying on Tuesday they'll be running trucks. Yep, they'll be running all the truck series that day. We'll see them Tuesday night as well here back on live on Facebook. That will be after, of course, the Pushing Limits Racing League on the YouTube end, which we'll post that up when the time comes and get you guys all well aware when we're ready to broadcast it. Shearer, Dalton, Van Schaik, Holyfield, and Burke all right now hunting for a position, hunting for the spots. Those that were kind of trapped off guard, kind of laying low, clear the legs here of the 42. Dakota Kramer, Ryan D. Cook, Maurice Burnett, Samuel Orell, and Keith Brents. Remember, Brents had won the second stage, if you will. And then Ron Holyfield won stage number 1 as well. So right now, currently, everybody just trying to really, at this point, have their marks and get their lines and really get where they can here. Right now, Maurice Burnett currently having some company drawn his way. Sammy Horrell bulging the speed up and really bulging his way through into the pack and into the drive. Or maybe not here. There's trouble in the field here. Christoph Hall. He's got a major problem. Right front, I believe, just took the hugest hit of it all today. And now I think he's got a right front down on the car. 30 laps remaining. We'll take a look at the replay here. Something going major. Lay bad for the 44 camp. Well, you can see he was right up there with the field. He was looking to try and stay with the lead pack. Oh, watch this. He got clipped there from Hill Hill. Looked like he didn't know where he was at. So, looks like no, actually, he did not have a right front down. He didn't even get into the wall. Looked to me like he did have something go down, but no, he's okay. Well, we'll talk about a major twist and turn into that one. No caution, I believe, because they kept it relatively on pace and on track, but Christoph cannot be a happy camper after all this today. Frustration definitely got to be building up. Sean Burke, your race leader. Charles Van Schaik right behind Ron Holyfield and Tyler Dalton rounding out the top 5 here so far. And we are currently 29 laps left to go in this field in this bracketed fight for supremacy. So, well, looks like we got some folks asking the broadcast down below here about their choice of the pick. So I'll ask you guys in the comments section. We got a few that are picking some numbers. Who do you think is going to win this race out here in the season opener for the Daytona race? My pick right now, I'm kind of looking at Ron Holyfield as my guy to win this one out. Ernest King saying the number 93 is going to be his pick. I pick Holyfield though because really he's been kind of hitting the spots and hitting his positions right when he needs to and only operating when he absolutely has to. He's been staying in good condition and in good position to really make his run. Charles Van Schaik would be a close second though. I think he can really bring it down to the house. Thunder says 23, let's go. Alright, some love down there for them. George Rincon saying it was part of the league as well, but got the inaugural Xfinity Daytona win there. Congratulations on that. Yeah, we haven't broadcast any of the Xfinity Go Racing League. We do know they run it, but we've only done trucks and the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. It's the only ones we've been able to do anyway. And you see the pack right now currently stretched out further as they go. Just to give you guys an idea of how far they are stretched out, take a look at our lap time center here. You can see here 0.3 of a second, not exactly easy to gain, especially if your guys literally having to try to deal with a bubble mass now again with Xfinity or trucks. Might have a better chance here to really get some momentum going, but the gap does not lie. You can see how far that gap is between one another, and it is far beyond what they were expecting or probably what they were hoping for. Michael Bollinger saying 24 to go. That's time indeed. MJ Thunder says get the hammer down, Shock. I mean, right now though, MJ, if I was Charles, I would not be throwing the hammer down just yet. I'd be waiting patiently. Wait for the right time to strike. Remember, there's only one lap you need to win this thing, and that's the final lap. Don't let the pressure get to you, and don't let the thoughts take control of your own wisdom. Focus highly and focus in well in advance. Laps remain. Sean Burke right now got to be feeling like a happy camper right now. Probably thinking he's happier than a bull in a china shop because he is leading this entire field in with little to no regard for trouble or issues in front of him. Ryan D. Cook, Mark Reese Burnett, Samuel Harrell, Joe Hudson. They are currently the ones that are in that very far pack here. Alan Weil, Christoph Hall, John McMillan Sr., Russell Holloway, Robert Dudley. They are all currently laps down or in trouble because they are not getting any speed to catch up to the field. Bringing and hokering these things around, trying to see what they can bring to the table again. With the way those rear differential spoilers as well kind of go for them, that ends up they're making the airflow travel farther back. So actually, with the dirty airflow, it makes the cars a lot harder to really grip from or get into a nice current, even flow. And again, without that extra horsepower that you get from a 670, you then have to really rely on getting close to somebody, using their bumper or getting some draft off them to then catch anybody here. So that's why these cars really force you to push yourself not only to your limits, but to push yourself off completely. And pit stops yet again being made. Reese Burnett, Ryan D. Cook, Dakota Kramer, Samuel Rell, Keith Prince, Joe Hudson have now entered in the fray. Ernest saying hopefully RKR will have a cup roster here in a couple days. The series looking promising. Well, let's see there, King. Thunder saying Burke and Chuck working well together. Yep, they are certainly indeed there. Which is kind of surprising again, because Charles Van Schaik, to my knowledge, not a part of the RBS crew, but see Seems to be, at least for now anyway, working with them. But the Fords are the ones that are dominating so far, which comes as really no surprise to me. The Fords have always had an advantage at the very big tracks due to their airflow and currents they can bring around the track and in the car. They've also proven that they can really use well on the half miles and the short tracks. The only tracks that to me they struggle the most on that has been kind of a reoccurring theme was really anything that involved the mile and a halves, if you will. That to me is where they struggled. Again, there were some different cases in different areas, but to me that was kind of what we've seen a lot of here on the show, as well as in normal broadcasts and stuff like that. It's time to take a look at our fuel strategy here on the pit strategy end here, not the lap time, sorry about that. So this is how our pit strategy looks right now. You can see the distances here that each driver has gone and each driver has put up, and really the marker has been 24 laps in. Whoever goes into pit road first in this pack right now will set the bar and set the tone for what these guys are currently looking in on right now, which Joe Hudson is now the leader of that pack. Well, just saying, this is going to be the last pit stop now too. Well, it'll be last for these guys, but Hudson, well, I'm not sure what Hudson's up to, but he just threw a very big block there with a heavy load of drivers coming right at him. I'm not sure I agree with that move, especially considering what's right behind you now with lap traffic wise. You don't want to be thrown in with that leader pack there. And the leaders still have a few more laps they can use, so the more they keep doing this, the easier it becomes just to lap them. Burke watching on. So is Van Schaik as well. I feel like that was a very missed opportunity there. These drivers faced up just doing that little move here. You can see the gap has completely decreased and now has become an even favorable position for the leaders to take control. "16 laps remaining. Fuel now running very, very limited here." Sun's starting to come out here, and it looks like it's better now than never. The sun fades and shines down on the drivers. That could maybe give them a little bit more grip, a little bit more run to work with here. Harris King saying leaders in a bind using more fuel. I mean, in some regards I'll agree, but in other regards I'll say it's actually set perfectly because that forces everybody else to have to choose their time to pit road. Shearer, Van Schaik, and Hales go in. Burke, aggressive too much in pit road, and exits himself into the grass. I don't know if that'll be a penalty there for getting too quick in pit road, or if he'll get a penalty for going to the grass. Van Schaik and them are going to need fuel, and they're going to need to hurry it up. Ron Holyfield, your new leader, Tyler Dalton, right behind him. And again, they're not going to have enough fuel to get through this one here, but Dalton and Holyfield right now probably looking at the overall situation, the overall circumstance. They know they get into pit road now, they may have a chance here to outsmart and outwit the others. Meanwhile, right into the pack and into the run, Samuel Horrell and all of them trying to hurry up, trying to get through. Charles Van Schaik and Bill Hales. They are trying to get as further along as they can. Bud Shearer is currently going to be rocking it with him. Sean Burke just now coming out of pit road. He did suffer a penalty down there. Dalton and Holyfield are now in pit road. Now their strategies are going to be put up to good use. Dalton revving the motor up. He's trying to fire it out. And he's going to get it going. Holyfield as well joins the pack. But Hales is going to come flying up on him. They're going to need to start draft. They're going to need to start getting some pack going quick. 12 laps remain. Next time on by. 13 for sure left in this one. You can see where Dalton is. You can see where Hales is coming from. You can see where Shearer and Van Schaik is. The power is being used up, and they are absolutely ramming this thing into the ground. Dalton trying to get the draft off. I believe that's the 98 of Russell Ottaway. Hoping for a bit of a break here. Holyfield trying to catch up. He's going to get trafficked, though. Alan Wild there in the 22 going to get thrown back behind their field as well. Looks like they're going to try to begin to draft pack and draft the field up. Meanwhile, Samuel Horrell trying to lead the original group, the original guys. And you got to be wondering yourself, too. Had Joe Hudson not made that move on them when he did, could that have given them enough time to kind of catch up to the field? Because that block that he threw slowed everybody down by a couple of seconds. And they're only about 7 seconds back right now. That could be the difference between success or failure. And Schaik, look at this, the outside, he's got the lead. Dalton stays low with Christoph Hall. Van Schaik will have Shearer using him up a little bit. Bump drafts off. They'll set him back down the bottom. Charles Van Schaik is your new leader. Dalton trying to get lined back up. He's got Holyfield right on top with him. But the problem is they haven't got around Hall yet. Hall's blocking that run down to the bottom. Holyfield and them trying to move quick. And it looks like they finally got it going. Now can they draft it back up and get them right in position? This is some hard racing right now for the race win. This ain't for the lead no more. This is for the win. Here we go. Coming up, 10 laps remain here in Daytona. Pressure on and building around. Charles Van Schaik looking very, very carefully at his opposition, looking very, very carefully at what could go right and what could go wrong. He knows he cannot let up. He knows he cannot give up. The 43 and them just can do nothing but look on and hope for the best. They are only getting them by hundredths of a second here, and not enough. They need tenths, and they need to get it quickly. Hundredths of a second will not do them any good, and it looks like that's not going to do them any good anyway. It looks like the drivers are starting to now form the line. And they all come together in a draft. That is going to hurt their chances even more so. Even just 3 of them on their own, let alone 4 of them hurts the field as much as it hurts them. Tyler Dalton right now looking at his observations, looking at his ideals, trying to find the best little chance, the best opportunity he's going to get if he wants to win this one out, the first race of the new season for Goat Racing League. In the Next Gen Cup Series Global Team Strategy seems. Looks like he's going to favorably go to the bottom. Smart thinking, in my opinion. Get the draft going and build up the power. Build up the run. Fans running on that 23. They want to see Van Schaik take home a win here in the biggest of them all. So much opposition right now with 8 laps to go. There's so many thoughts running through the mind. Do you try to make passes sooner or do you try to make passes later? Go too soon, you run the risk of getting side drafted and drafted into oblivion. Go too quickly, and you may end up like what Ryan D. Cook is here, the 10, trying to get the car to stop. He is squirming through the grass of the plains here. Something going wrong there for the number 10. No caution is going to come out. Ryan, unfortunately, just another unfortunate victim of the system. Bill Hales right now, also, we forgot all about him. He went 15 spots up in what could best be described as a charge to the pack and a charge through the field. Leading him down here, right on the tail end of the field. Van Schuyck currently dealing with the pressure that could go flying up on him on the outside, and that's exactly what they're up to. Crossovers. Dalton crossed up there from Scherer. Scherer trying to cross him back. Lead him back down here. Van Schuyck's going to be on the recipient. Oh, he gets it right in front of the 3 wide. Stays in control. Every driver for themselves here. Final 5 laps coming up. Top 5 now on your screen for these final 5 laps. Christoph Hall, the outlier of this one. He is currently a lap down. The rest of the field drivers just trying to make or break their time and make or break their chances. Scherer with a good run on the outside. Now back to the drop in the backstretch. He's going to try to drop it low. Not drop it like it's hot, but drop it like it's low into the 23's line. No grip, no give, no nothing there for him. That giraffe yet again throws him up. High 5 in the air indeed. Market 5 left to go. Tyler Dalton laying him down off the track, downing into the field of the position here. We're got 4 left to go. Ron Holyfield looks like he's going to try to steer the momentum, shift it up a little bit. Look at this, though. Dalton goes to the top, and Van Schuyck blocks it. He knows he's coming for him up there. And Holyfield with a great power run coming up. The 11 has now done what I said earlier. He's kind of a sneaky little one, and he's going to do it again. Dalton pushed in from the 11. Holyfield's got Dalton to the lead. And now Holyfield, ooh, is he thinking about going to the outside and make that run for it on Dalton? Looks like he backed off, knew where he was at, knew the situation was not going to be good. He had to get out of there. Now it's cross back over yet again. Another block throw from Dalton. And Van Schuyck crossing it back over, regains the lead on the lap. Oh my. Talk about throwing caution and win and throwing wherever you got to just to try to hang on. Impressive final 10 laps. These drivers are putting the show on. The fans are loving it, and so are we here in the booth. These 5 Warriors right now want to be the first to claim victory in the season. One of which has claimed the championship already, but wants a win here today. The others have claimed victory on the super speedways before, or they've had their story under the sun. Either way, it's now going to evolve around lap traffic, maneuvering, and control of the cars. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final 2 laps coming to the line. Ryan D. Cook in the way of the 23. He's going to slow him down a little bit. Holyfield going to be parked right back in behind. Bud Scherer right now trying to stay with Van Schuyck. And they're losing the draft. They're losing speed here. This is not the time to do it. You know it too. Van Schuyck's got to get back down low. No matter what he's thinking, he's got to get in there some way. Has he bit off more than he can do? Or maybe he's trying to set something up. It's hard to say. Holyfield and Dalton, though, literally starting to look like they're going to pull a Waltrip and Earnhardt Jr. move here and just get right and ass ahead of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Presented by Global Team Strategy, your white flag lap now on the track. Which one will it be? Van Strike struggling to keep up. Hale's trying to get out of that mess, but he's blocked by the 15. Holyfield with the best run and opportunity. Christoph Hall dictates who he goes with. Does he run with Dalton, or will he give Holyfield one more run? They're going to find this one out down the back straightaway. Holyfield is going to draft the absolute rear end off the 19, but he knows he'll dive the outside. They're going to come up to the final corners. Down through 3. Coming for 4 and coming for home. It's a drag race to the line. Straight through the corner of the checkered flags. It's Tyler Dalton winning it in season opener. Oh my, what a finish there. Your season opener winner is going to be the man that has brought a lot of wins in the Super Speedway Series for Sim 500. Tyler Dalton is going to do it again here and take one home for his team and his crew. Ron Holyfield firing everything he had at him, but it was not to be. Shearer will take home third, and Van Scheidt, credit where credit's due. He gave it all he had, but those blocks and those runs cost him dearly. Tyler Dalton will bring the number 19 to victory lane, and it's time for a little celebration at Daytona Beach for this man. Well, he's trying to get some burnouts going. Looks like the car is not one to deal with him today, though. But nevertheless, he'll deal with long enough to win that out here at Daytona. What a performance here, presented by Global Team Strategy. Here is your final results. Tyler Dalton wins it out here with help from Ron Holyfield to the line. Bud Shearer taking it home for third. Charles Van Scheidt goes for fourth. Bill Hale's taking fifth home. Sixth will be Samuel Harrell. Seventh to Maurice Burnett. 8th to Dakota Kramer, 9th to Sean Burke, 10th to Keith Prince. That rounds out the top 10 in this one. My, race fans. We said we missed them and they missed us, and we certainly have had a fun time with this. So let's get down to our final chat here. It's time to listen to your top 3 drivers today.
Twice and just couldn't.
Well, yeah, twice couldn't indeed, but Shearer, man, he's still at least coming home today with the third place finish. Congratulations on that. Talk about this one here, sir. I mean, having to run this one to the ground and onto the line, it looked like there was a few opportunities to take that chance, but just never really had a chance at once Holyfield and Dalton got away from you, did they?
Well, that's what I was saying to Chuck with 3 laps to go. When they were catching us, I yelled at him, like, go high, take the outside, it's time to go. And I went to the outside to block him down the backstretch, and he never moved. So
Yeah.
they split us in the middle then. That's what I just said to Chuck. If you would have went to the outside, I think we would have had them.
Well, I mean, kind of one of those situations at the time you think about it, but at the time, like, you just don't really think too highly of it either. So, but I mean, sure. I mean, a third place finish, you're still, I mean, you got to be thinking to yourself, like, what a way to start out the season and really now pick a good chance at making a break for this season and maybe looking for that title at the end.
Oh, I'm pretty much done with plate tracks. This is the 4th league race I've done in a row at a plate track, and I've all but done with it. uh, yeah, at least we ran up front the whole time. We never fell any lower than 6 all race. We won the first stage. We got third in the second. Finished third. I think I don't know. We were all pretty even. There was four of us there, I think, that deserved to win, and I think we finished 1 through 4. So it can't really complain about anything. That's for damn sure.
For sure there, man. All right, well, nevertheless, though, as you finished it out today in the podium, you got Auto Club Speedway to look for next week. So who do you want to thank here for this one in Daytona?
I'll give a big thanks out to Goat Racing League for putting on the event, inviting us back. Big thanks to you doing the broadcasting week in and week out. Obviously to RBS Racing, my teammates Justin Reynolds, Sean Burke, Brock Page, Matt Redford, Bobby Brown. Um, yeah, Signature Esports, AMR Race Control. Come back next week, see what we got.
Certainly indeed, Sheriff. Great to see you back here in the podium and fighting it out. Congratulations.
Thank you kindly, sir.
But here, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it home for third today here. Coming away second, runner-up in this one. I picked him to win this one, but he's going to take it home for second today at least. Ron Holyfield will bring it home for a nice second place finish today here in Holyfield. Talk about having to fight and scratch and claw your way through this one. Coming away from the pit strategies, the strats look like it was going to favor some of the other guys, but then you, Dalton, and a few of those other drivers just put the pedal into that metal and then finally figured out a way to make it for the big point here. How were you feeling there on the final laps?
Well, you know, man, it's a tough race, man. It's a lot of fun. You know, you're going along there. You're trying to save fuel to make it. You're trying to figure out what's your two tires, no tires, whatever. Man, it's so much fun. You're just going it, these guys have just raced great. I mean, it's nobody. It's so fun when you can finish out without crashing and all that. But yeah, I mean, push my teammate to the finish there. It's just one of the best races I've ever had.
One of the best races you've had here and had a good little drive from point A to point B. But I'll ask you this too. I mean, you've
You know,
held
we
one.
got back we got back there in the back, and we was kind of struggling a little bit right there. With about uh, 3/4 of the race there. Um, but we just stayed together, man, and just kind of pushed and pushed and pushed. You know how hard it is to get up there, especially in this car.
It's
You got to be so careful too. Some of them guys, man, it's I'm telling you, yeah, I told Tyler I would have loved to had I'm 61 years old, so I would have loved to had a heart rate meter on me because it was going pretty good.
If we had a heart rate on a few of you guys, I swear probably we'd be having to call a few doctors around here.
Heck
So
yeah, dude. Heck yeah, man. I'm telling you, that's fun, though. That's fun, man. And my other teammate Joe, he was trying his best to help us, and had some trouble getting in the pits and out of the pits. But man, it's just so much. No, it's
that's not us cutting them out, folks. By the way.
oh, is that me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're cutting out every now and then.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Ron, man, I guess the only thing I got really left to ask you, man. So you want to thank you for the second place finish.
Yeah, I mean, got to thank Tyler. I mean, he's the man on these tracks. Yeah, he always qualifies on the pole, and he's taught me a lot. Just how to stay calm and race hard. And I have to give it all to him really, and Sim 500. And thank you guys for putting on the race and Charles. And we got a good setup going, man. I really enjoy it. Really enjoy being in this league. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy the guys too. Thank you.
We enjoy having you around today, Ron. Congratulations on the second place finish, and we hope to see you next time on out here, sir.
Man, I sure wish I could have got on up there, but I shall take second after that. Thank
Take,
you.
take second indeed. We hope to see you next time, man. Congratulations.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
Ron Holyfield, ladies and gentlemen, going to take it over second, and this man will strike it big. He is going to take another one home in the 19. Tyler Dalton wins it in the Sim 519 machine. Tyler, once again, you had set the bar, you set the poles, and then you set the standard, and it looked like with drafting and a little bit of a run around, you looked like you finally dialed it up and took this one home. How was it feeling at the very end of it all, sir?
It's definitely nice to finally get a win at one of these plate tracks. It seems like we're always the one pushing teammate to the win, and we had Ryan there with us. And if he was in the front, I was going to push him, and if I was in the front, he's going to push me. And it just worked out good for us there. Got off pit road really good at the end. honestly got off a little bit too good. I was hoping Ron would get off as just as good, and we could have pulled away from him a little bit. But Pat called us back, and then there at the end, um, we knew we had to split Charles and Bud up. And as soon as I saw the opportunity, I went up there and thought about making it 3 wide, but we just went up there and pushed Charles out, got him clear, and then I saw Ron was on the outside, pulled up, and we were able to bring it home.
I gotta ask this too as well. I mean, you had late into that run. I think it was like 5 laps to go. Probably one of the crazier like crossover blocks and drives we have seen from a pack and that side, that scope for so long. I mean, what was it like having just to work around that?
Yeah, I was when we got the run initially on Charles and Bud, I didn't expect Bud to come up, and then he did. And at that point, like I said, I considered going 3 wide in the middle, but the middle really doesn't work that great in the next gen. So I saw a spot down below Charles and just pushed him. And then Ron, with no one behind him, was having a hard time staying on my bumper. So I saw the bottom coming and went down there and took that lane over. And as soon as that lane got slowed up a little bit, allowed me to jump back up top and get with Ron. And then we sort of used the 44 there, the lap car, as a buffer.
Lap car as a buffer and bringing this one home to victory lane today here, my friend. This was a long, long shootout and fight for the point A to point B, but you, my friend, have taken this one home. So with that in mind, who do you want to thank you for all this?
Yeah, still can't believe it happened considering I was pointed towards the inside wall on lap 17. But we came back from that. I just want to thank all the Sim 500 Mafia, Ron and Joe Hudson. Joe was right there with us. Unfortunately, he lost the draft there at the end, then ran out of fuel and had to pit. I want to thank Charles and all the GOAT racing guys for putting on this series. Got the collaboration with Sim 500. Got a bunch of great guys in the series and looking forward to more great racing.
We're certainly looking forward to it too, but nevertheless, Dalton, man, congratulations, well earned and deserved today on the track.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner to start this season off. With that said, we thank and appreciate every single one of you guys tuning on in. Thanks so much for tuning out. We hope to see you guys real soon, as we'll be seeing the Truck Series go at it. So before I go out tonight, we'll play a little series promo for them as they get ready for Tuesday night. We'll see you guys here tomorrow night as Battle Metal Racing League comes by. But for until then, see you next time when the green flag flies.